Okay, so I need to start recording some shit before gets too far off in distant memory. And so today's Sunday, April 13th, 8:22 p.m. I'm in Washougal, Washington. And I'll do these in bits, or I won't. So we'll see how this goes. So anyway, I think most everything is pretty well documented as far as Operation Mend is concerned. And then I documented today kind of what transpired since then, but I just want to go into some detail on some things. So, Operation Mend would have been perfect for me. They told me it'd take a couple weeks, 2 weeks actually, to get approved or whatever. And 2 months went by and heard nothing, so contacted them, blah, blah, blah. At that point, they weren't ready, apparently, to commit because they're waiting for some records. So they said, okay, thanks, but no thanks. I need to get help now. Okay. Because I was in pretty desperate shape since basically the 7th of December when the VFW and VA debacle occurred, which I've documented, so I will not need to go into. And subsequently, the estrangement from my sons, which I've also gone into in a little bit of detail, which caught me completely out of the blue. I never thought my boys would turn their backs on me for any reason or in any form. Because, even if they were mass murderers, serial killers, and Nick very well could be one. He's a potential, but not serious. But yeah, even if they were serial killers, they're still my sons. I would still love them. I would still support them 100%. But apparently, I have more. Blood means more to me than it does to them, obviously. So. And I lost blood, I found out in October that Joseph Sorrentino, the man who raised me and was my father and is my father for all time and was a great father, was not my biological father. So there's that. Which my boys knew about, when they decided to turn their backs on me because, Dad's trying to, he got drunk and tried to kill himself again. Well, I wish they knew the fucking truth. I wish they knew a little bit about what it means to, serve in combat and go through that kind of stress and to be away from your family and have your wife leave you for another woman, for your next door neighbor, so on and so forth. I don't want to go into too much detail, but a woman that stuck around for at least 10 years so she could get what she thought was her rightful percentage of my pension. But we're not going to go into any great detail on that. I won't name that individual, but she knows who she is, and I wouldn't be surprised if she's behind this whole thing with my sons. I think she's possibly undermined my relationship with them. And there could be other things afoot that I will not go into detail about, but she comes from a con artist family. Her dad, Matt Burrows, was a well-known con man in Binghamton, New York, self-admitted, and seemed to be proud of such, because he told lots of stories about how he, slipped and fell and sued and got some money. But anyway, I think I'll just keep rolling, rather than do. Anyway, I don't know how I got off on that tangent, but anyway, I don't know what's going on with my sons. Absolutely no idea whatsoever. So, and I went into this in details in my post today, but I really wanted to detail specifically, the shit in Amsterdam. That was all a big fucking mess. Shit, the plan went to hell, and all hell broke loose, and, no harm, no foul, except for the fact that the police did screw me up pretty good physically. But really focusing on not even Laurel Ridge in San Antonio, which was not a great experience, but it was an experience and wasn't the right place for me. And I got nothing against them, but just didn't work out. And Elisa and I decided to go with the backup plan, which was Jacksonville, Florida. And we were thinking about possibly moving there, and we were talking about, San Antonio, talking about Austin, Texas, talking about Jacksonville because of the Mayo Clinic there, want to go somewhere where there's great medical care, a great hospital. So, didn't work out at Laurel Ridge, San Antonio. Elisa's mom, in the meantime, had a stroke. She had to get to Italy on a plane. So she left San Antonio on a plane for Italy. I left San Antonio just an hour later on a plane from San Antonio to Jacksonville with the plan. Had a rental car lined up at the airport. Okay, had the transportation lined up with the airlines because I'm disabled, can't walk long distances, etc. That transfer was supposed to go on, and that's one thing that failed miserably in Amsterdam. But anyway, that all seemed to work out. I got my rental car, had an Airbnb lined up, paid for a month, over $2,000. Closer to $2,100 for a month. Airbnb, submitted it, the host accepted it, took my money. It's good to go. Showed up at the address of the Airbnb at 10:30 at night, and nothing. I mean, it's like a commercial area, didn't seem to be anything. There could look like there could be an apartment in this building upstairs, but no sign of life. It's very, dead area. Not a whole lot going on. And the host contacted the host and through messaging on Airbnb, and he wanted me to sign an agreement. And I said, I'm not signing an agreement. What? That's not the way this works, I requested, you accepted, you took my money, contract. Okay, end of discussion. But he wanted me to sign some kind of a fucking agreement at 10:30 at night before he gave me access to the apartment. I told him to go fuck himself, and no uncertain terms. It's all, in the Airbnb data server, which I'm sure is corrupt as well. But anyway, so here I am, 10:30 at night, Jacksonville, Florida. Great plan, gone to shit because some asshole is trying to do something that's not allowed by contractually. So here I am in Jacksonville, Florida. Never been there. Had no idea where the hell I was, and started to freak out, which is the norm. And that's why I had these great plans in place, is because, with my illness, with my brain fog, my brain deficits, cognitive deficits, whatever you want to call them, and all the other shit that's going on with me. What was I talking about? Maybe I'll remember. Nobody here to remind me, so I'm just Jacksonville. Yeah. Oh, the great plan. Yeah, Airbnb. So I called the police. A couple of very nice Jacksonville police showed up. A young man and a young woman. They were very, very, very helpful, very kind, and I appreciated them very much. Don't know their names, but I started to freak out, because perfect plan had gone to shit. And so I started to sob, and grown men, 68-year-old men, are not allowed to sob, apparently. If I was a 68-year-old woman and was sobbing wildly, I would get all kinds of sympathy and, given shelter and protection, et cetera, et cetera. But a 68-year-old man doing the same thing, sobbing because of a horrible situation and because of terrible cognitive deficits, physical problems, that's not allowed. Okay, so they took me to a hospital somewhere close to where the Airbnb was. I got the paperwork somewhere of the hospital, but and everyone was very nice, and they understood what was going on, and the guy was an asshole, and I had no place to stay, and I freaked out, and blah, 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 and so they signed the paperwork, and everybody went their separate ways. So I found myself driving around Jacksonville, Florida, with nowhere to. Couldn't sleep in the car because I'd probably be arrested. So I just drove around, drank a lot of coffee, so on and so forth. So about, I don't know, it must have been 7 o'clock in the morning, give or take an hour. I said, well, fuck, I came to Jacksonville for the Mayo Clinic. I came to Jacksonville so the Mayo Clinic would save me because they're the best hospital in the world. And so I said, okay, well, I'll just, and I was tired, been awake for more than 24 hours, exhausted, mentally and psychologically from this Airbnb thing. So I'll go to the Mayo Clinic. ER. Walked in there to the Mayo Clinic. I parked in the parking lot, walked in. And again, proceeded to act like a 68-year-old man apparently should act. And I just kind of let it all go, because here I am at the Mayo Clinic. I'm saved, everything's good, And it didn't turn out that way. They thought I was fucking, well, rather, they just didn't want to fucking deal with a 68-year-old man who was bawling his eyes out for no apparent reason. No concern that he's maybe a disabled combat veteran or, anything like that. Never even asked. Um, so they decided instead of helping me, they're going to drug me and hold me there for 24 hours. Which I remember very, very little of. And next thing I knew, I was sent over to a place called River Point Behavioral Health on a 72-hour hold. They put me on a 72-hour hold because I was suicidal and homicidal. Apparently, the paperwork said, but they never gave me a copy of the paperwork. I saw it in my chart. Oh, this is such such a long story. Oh my god. Oh my god. I'm gonna have to cut it off here because I just realized how long this fucking story is, and this is just the start of it. With the Mayo Clinic. So the Mayo Clinic, yeah, they saved me. They drugged me for 24 hours, and then they sent me over to River Point Behavioral Health, where I ended up staying for another week. My civil rights and liberties were taken away for another week, based on a bunch of fucking bullshit. So I'm going to end this here, and we'll pick up with my arrival at River Point, which was another fucking nightmare.